Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two politicians in Kenya today who I believe you should not allow yourself to get into any verbal or written altercation because they will simply humiliate and embarrass you. The first politician I'm talking about is Mike Mbuvi Sonko, the former governor of Nairobi. Anytime you find yourself in trouble with Mike Mbuvi Sonko, you better apologize or stop that bit of confrontation, because Mike Sonko will get into your bedroom, will go into the archives, and he will retrieve some dirty memories that you would not want to see. If it is a verbal communication and altercation, he will tell you things that you do not want to hear. He will tell the public things that you do not want to hear. If you are in a position, you are a man who is respected, it will take you time to exonerate yourself from what Mbuvi Sonko is saying, because it is already in the ears of the public. And this is exactly what is happening between Sonko and the city lawyer Ahmed Nasir. And it is Ahmed Nasir who started the war by claiming that since Mbuvi Sonko is not really learned, that's why he's supporting the quote-unquote fake lawyer. The second person you should not try and get into any altercation with is Moses Kuria, the current cabinet secretary in the Ministry of Public Service, who recently took over from Aisha Jumwa. Now, if you cross Moses Kuria's line, he will take you head on, because he does not have limits whenever you have a confrontation. And if there is one person who regrets initiating an altercation between him and Moses Kuria, it's the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. Remember when Rigathi Gachagua flew from Colombia, where he went to market our tea, I think, and he wanted to try and calm down things after Moses Kuria had spoken in a manner that the government felt was not really palatable to the public by telling us to go and drill our boreholes, drill our oil holes to get oil, instead of talking too much about the rise of petroleum products. So Rigathi Gachagua came and said that Moses Kuria acted in a manner that was not really the stature of a leader in his caliber. Moses Kuria that very night tweeted and told of Rigathi Gachagua that he was suffering from inferiority complex. And yesterday, after an altercation where the Meru governor, Mwangaza, was apprehended by the police in a scene that many believed was orchestrated by someone, some powerful lady or man in some office. Without a shadow of doubt, Moses Kuria went to clear the air who he thinks he's behind arresting Mwangaza. And this is what Moses Kuria tweeted, because Moses Kuria would always express his views on Twitter whenever he feels something is not right. So he went there, and the first tweet he said that, "Is this what Gachagua meant? That Meru problems be solved in Meru by Merians?" That is the first tweet that he did. The second tweet, he said, "It is wrong to harass Governor Mwangaza in exactly the same way the other government was harassing some of us." Now, I just want us to look at the two tweets briefly before we get into what I want to talk about. If he says that, is this what Gachagua meant? Because Gachagua said someday that the people of Meru should solve their problems, and maybe Governor Mwangaza must sit down with the MCAs, because already as we speak, the MCAs have tabled another impeachment motion. They want to attempt to impeach Governor Mwangaza for the second time, and that as that impeachment motion was lying on their table in the county assembly, they decided to apprehend Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Of course, the police later came and said it was a mistaken identity and Kenyans are reading mischief. So Moses Kuria is asking, by arresting Kawira Mwangaza, is this what Rigathi Gachagua meant? And what is he implying? He's simply implying that it is Rigathi Gachagua who instructed the police officers to arrest Kawira Mwangaza. Then in the second one, it's even more compelling. Rigathi Gachagua has always come out and told us that the DCIs during the Uhuru regime used to apprehend him very early in the morning in front of his children. They didn't even allow him to remove his pajamas. He's always said that they really humiliated him. And Moses Kuria, without calling now someone's name, is saying it is wrong to harass Governor Kawira Mwangaza exactly the same way the other government was harassing some of us. Now, when he says some of us, he is targeting Rigathi Gachagua, because it is Rigathi who said he used to be harassed by the previous regime. But many people are asking one question. Why does Moses Kuria continue to attack Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto is very quiet? Because you'd imagine that William Ruto would call Moses Kuria to order, because in the order of ranking and the hierarchy in the government, Rigathi Gachagua is the second in command. In the absence of William Ruto, Gachagua is taking charge. And I remember when William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua were away, because William Ruto was in the US, Rigathi Gachagua was in Colombia, Moses Kuria went ahead and said that he was in charge. And this is the same thing I remember sometimes back when Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto was not in the country. Mike Sonko, in that previous regime, said that in the absence of the two, he was now in charge. And that's why I'm telling you that these two people share some attributes together. So Moses Kuria simply saying that he is that powerful. There was a time he also said that in Lowland, apart from Raila Amolo Odinga, he is the second most welcome person in Lowland. He has continued to say that. Now, Moses Kuria, and as we begin to identify why can't William Ruto call him to order, why do you think Moses Kuria believes that it is Rigathi Gachagua? When he was transferred from the Trades Ministry to the Ministry of Public Service, he made some utterances that he is sure that he's got several enemies. And he said that was the reason why he was transferred. And this is because prior to his transfer to the Public Service Ministry, Moses Kuria used that opportunity to go around counties launching industrial parks. He was in Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori, and Kisumu. And while there, Moses Kuria took that opportunity to tell off Rigathi Gachagua about his sentiments about the shareholding kind of politics that is playing. And many experts believed that he was trying to outshine his masters. He was working and people began to resonate well with him, because in those industrial parks, he really engaged with the government. He was taking advantage of the economic activity that is viable in that area, and he opened something that will add value to them. So people thought the government of the day was not very happy. And when he meant he's got enemies, he meant Rigathi Gachagua. He also believes that Rigathi Gachagua is not very happy because Kawira Mwangaza had launched a program where she was distributing, I think, some cows to every home to uplift them. And Moses Kuria simply believes that this goes against Rigathi Gachagua's policies, because whenever you implement certain development projects, according to Moses Kuria, Rigathi Gachagua will not feel very happy, because Rigathi Gachagua wants to stand out in Mount Kenya as the person who is standing for their rights and speaking for them. And he feels that when Kawira Mwangaza is trying to initiate such developments, she is outshining Rigathi Gachagua. That is what Moses Kuria believes, because according to him, he started shining, and that's why Rigathi Gachagua, I think, influenced for him to be removed from that docket. But why is William Ruto very quiet? Number one, Moses Kuria is being used to communicate information that no one else can communicate to Rigathi Gachagua. Remember, while in presiding over the industrial parks, he said everyone is a shareholder as long as you are paying taxes. And that has been the belief of late. William Ruto has changed tune, and while in the same Nyanza, William Ruto said that it is primitive to talk about shareholding politics. And you can see that they're reading together with William Ruto. They're reading from the same page. So William Ruto would always use Moses Kuria to communicate some message that does not need euphemism. If you want to tell it directly, it is Moses Kuria who will be used to do it. Moses Kuria is also being used to checkmate Rigathi Gachagua, because William Ruto does not want a situation where Rigathi Gachagua wants to entrench himself as the sole kingpin of Mount Kenya, because if he does it, then William Ruto knows that he will not be able to go to the electorates directly. He must pass by Rigathi Gachagua, because according to the Nyeri governor, Mutahi Kahiga, that is what they are planning. And it cannot really resonate well with William Ruto. And that is why Moses Kuria is very important. He will continue attacking Rigathi Gachagua. Moses Kuria is the first politician who dissolved his chama cha kazi immediately after William Ruto was sworn in, and he was sucked into he was incorporated in Ruto's government. And you've seen William Ruto going around trying to plead with the other party members, like Mudavadi of the Amani Kenya, Moses Wetangula of Ford Kenya. He's been trying to woo them so that they can dissolve their parties and join the UDA to form one big party. The first person to do it was Moses Kuria. That tells you that he is very loyal to William Ruto, and so you cannot touch him. He is the blue-eyed boy telling it the way it is. And so don't expect William Ruto to call Moses to order, because he is enjoying it. That is why he's there, and that is why he's speaking. As to whether Rigathi Gachagua is the man pulling the strings, the man who is behind Kawira Mwangaza's predicaments, I don't know. Is there anybody from that county to maybe tell me what is happening there?